Hi, welcome to Andy's Climate Review. Thank you for coming along to watch my video. This is just a short video to go over the headline statements for policymakers from the recently published IPCC report. I thought this would be great for people in a hurry. I was looking on the IPCC website and found lots of different versions of their report. The full report, by the way, is 1,300 pages long. In fact, it's longer than that, but that's the minimum, 1,300 pages. Anyway, I found this list of headlines for policymakers, and it's got summaries of the current state of the climate, possible climate futures, climate information for risk assessment and regional adaptation, and limiting future climate change. So I thought this is great. This is perfect for a little short video. So let's get on to it. Okay, so this is the first page, the current state of the climate. So as I say, this is from the IPCC report that came out on the 9th of August, and this is the headline statements. So we've got A1, it is unequivocal that human influence has warmed the atmosphere, ocean and land. Widespread and rapid changes in the atmosphere, ocean, cryosphere and biosphere have occurred. So A2, the scale of recent changes across the climate system as a whole and the present state of many aspects of the climate system are unprecedented over many centuries to many thousands of years. This is what we're doing. So A3, human-induced climate change is already affecting many weather and climate extremes in every region across the globe. Evidence of observed changes in extremes such as heat waves, heavy precipitation, droughts and tropical cyclones, and in particular their attribution to human influence, has strengthened since the 5th assessment report. Now, an improved knowledge of climate processes, paleoclimate evidence and the response of the climate system to increasing radiative forcing gives a best estimate of equilibrium climate sensitivity of 3 degrees centigrade with a narrower range compared to AR5. Basically, that means that it's going to happen quicker than they thought the last time they looked at it. So moving on to the possible climate futures. So this starts to get scary. Point 1, the global surface temperature will continue to increase until at least the mid-century under all emission scenarios considered. Global warming of 1.5 degrees centigrade and 2 degrees centigrade will be exceeded during the 21st century unless deep reductions in carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gas emissions occur in the coming decades. We need to get on this now. There is no time to hang around. So many changes in the climate system, part 2 there. Many changes in the climate system become larger in direct relation to increasing global warming. They include increases in the frequency and intensity of hot extremes, marine heat waves and heavy precipitation, agricultural and ecological droughts in some regions, and proportion of intense tropical cyclones, as well as reductions in Arctic sea ice, snow cover and permafrost. Point 3, continued global warming is projected to further intensify the global water cycle, including its variability, global monsoon precipitation and the severity of wet and dry events. So things are going to be up and down and up and down. Some places are going to get soaked, other places are going to be dry as a bone. So part 4, or point 4, under scenarios with increasing CO2 emissions, the ocean and land carbon sinks are projected to be less effective at slowing the accumulation of CO2 in the atmosphere. So the ocean and the land that soak up carbon are becoming less able to do so because there is so much of it there. They can't suck it all up. So point 5, many changes due to the past and future greenhouse gas emissions are irreversible for centuries to millennia, especially changes in the ocean, ice sheets and global sea levels. So potentially it could take thousands of years to fix the damage that we have created. So moving on. So we've got the climate information for risk assessment and regional adaptation. So point 1, natural drivers and internal variability will modulate human caused changes, especially at regional scales and in the near term, with little effect on centennial global warming. These modulations are important to consider in planning for the full range of possible changes. Point 2, with further global warming, every region is projected to increasingly experience concurrent and multiple changes in climatic impact drivers. Changes in several climatic impact drivers would be more widespread at 2 degrees compared to 1.5 degrees of global warming, and even more widespread and or pronounced for higher warming levels. So again, this is doom and gloom. It's sad and we need to get up the hell on with this. So the point 3, low likelihood outcomes such as ice sheet collapse, abrupt ocean circulation changes, some compound extreme events and warming substantially larger than the assessed very likely range of future warming cannot be ruled out and are part of the risk assessment. So, you know, this is actually, it could be even worse, but they're not absolutely certain on that because there is some uncertainty as to the severity because they don't know what we're going to do in response to it, and it's all a bit patchy. So the final slide on this, we've got limiting future climate change. So there's just 2 points here. From a physical science perspective, limiting human-induced global warming to a specific level requires limiting cumulative CO2 emissions, reaching at least net zero CO2 emissions, along with strong reductions in other greenhouse gas emissions. Strong, rapid and sustained reductions in CH4 emissions would also limit the warming effect from declining aerosol pollution and would improve air quality. And then part 2 there, scenarios with low or very low greenhouse gas emissions, and SSP 1 to 1.9 and SSP 1 to 2.6. Not actually sure what that means, I'm not going to lie. Anyway, so the scenarios lead within years to discernible effects on greenhouse gas and aerosol concentrations and air quality relative to high and very high GHG emission scenarios. And then we've got another couple of things referenced there. Under these contrasting scenarios, discernible differences in trends of global surface temperature would begin to emerge from natural variability within around 20 years and over longer time periods for many other climatic impact drivers. And that's a high confidence point there. They know this is going to make a difference. They absolutely know this. So that's the end of the sort of the main points here. Those are the headlines. Hopefully you understood some of it, most of it, and hopefully I've explained it quite well. So basically I really hope you found this informative. I hope that it's been a bit easier to watch than my last video. Don't forget that you can support the channel on Patreon if you wish. The link will be in the description. You can get access to my Discord server if you join. You can also support by signing up to Oddbox at oddbox.co.uk and choosing the referred by a friend option and putting in my name, Andrea Clark with an E at the end. You'll get £10 off your first box, and I'll get £10 off my next box, which I will donate financially to Rewild. There's also a direct referral link in the description that you can click that will take you straight through. As a reminder, any money raised from Patreon, referrals or raised in any way through this channel will be donated to a climate charity. The current charity of choice is Rewild. They do amazing work worldwide with communities, towns, cities and governments to help cut emissions and reduce the impact of climate change on a local, domestic and national level and international level. You can also help the environment by checking out some of the other links in the description. There's a few links to businesses which are doing their bit to help people stop, for example, using single-use plastics, stopping vegetables going to waste just for being different, like Oddbox, and packaging products in a more environmentally friendly way. Sorry, I'm tripping over my words a bit here. I've also included some well-deserving charities which you can of course donate to, or some of them sell merchandise, and that will help further their causes if you feel inclined. And also remember to use ecosia.org to plant a tree every time you do a web search. It costs you nothing, but it does good stuff for the earth, and that is spelt ECOSIA and then it's .org. The link is also in the description. Finally, thank you for watching to the end. Please like, subscribe and hit the bell icon if you do want to see more climate updates, and stay safe, stay well and always be yourself in everything that you do.